now we've started activating the face and these energies through the organs, all of those organs and energies relating to the spine. So I think either the first part of all of it will be working with how to heal the spine, how the breath works in the spine, how those energies relate to the spine. And a lot of this work is very similar to craniosacral therapy, but to my mind, and this might sound arrogant, but it's just how I experience it, this drawing of the bow, or this shortening to the center and this expansion away from the center, isn't shown in craniosacral therapy. So I'm going to start working through all of the bones through the sphenoid, which we haven't been able to work with, because the whole face sits back onto the sphenoid before it can reach the center. So we have to activate the sphenoid, which is right close to the whole center of this movement, and also work with the temporal bones. So we'll be probably working a bit more specifically with all of the bones around the cranial base, how in more detail how they work. And this is really deeply healing. It may be quite precise, but you can use this as a deep healing for yourself. There's so many aspects to holographic breathing. It's a bit like a multifaceted jewel, and they all fit in different ways. So, you know, it's a bit like we go off in one direction, but then we have to go off in another direction to balance all of the different bits. So, you know, it will all pull together. And I think some people are dropping away because that isn't what they were looking for. I think a lot of people just wanted a thing that they could do, which you can do with holographic breathing. But what I'm doing here is disseminating and recording what is inside of me. So I'm just going to carry on regardless. I'm just going to keep spilling this stuff out until I've got it all out and it's recorded. So we're going to go down that route of all of the different bits, and you can learn this. For me, there's lots more information within this than a cranial training, which you'd pay £5,000, £4,000 or £5,000 for. And for me, this goes into more depth. Again, I'm happy for people to tell me I'm wrong, but I just see a lot of aspects of this that aren't included in craniosacral therapy. And it's activated from the breath. You can just do it for yourself. You don't need someone to be working on you, and you can experience it in yourself. And it goes beyond that modality of just movement to when we start working with the different organs and the different bones and the different energies of the bone. This is completely separate to craniosacral therapy. This is very similar to a Tibetan tantric technique I used to work with, where all of the different organs have different energies, all of the bones have different energies, and this comes out in colours in holographic breathing. So there's that whole aspect of it as well. There's the whole channel and kundalini aspect. My guess is I don't know all of holographic breathing, not by any stretch of the imagination, and as I keep kind of just giving this stuff out, I will understand more things, and you know, hopefully by the time I leave, whenever that is, this will all be done and documented, and my presence for the, you know, for when I leave, really. So there is something to be had here, and you are kind of getting the first draft, as it were. So it's not coming out in a perfect fashion. It's not coming out in a done and dusted and formulated way. It's coming out quite sporadically and then going here and there. But there's a fun to that journey, and there's an energy to that journey. And the importance of it, I don't know. I have no idea. It may just be for a few people. It may be a lot. But there's still an energy to being the first people to receive that. Whether it's just a small thing for a few people or whether it's a big thing for lots of people, there's still an energy of receiving the first draft, really. So that is what's up for grabs here, is a kind of random me letting go of what's been held in my head for 15 years.